Happy holidays. Happy holidays. What is it? Labor Day. Man, when you work for yourself, it's hard to keep up with these holidays, but everybody got a barbecue that started at 4. So, everybody on black folks' time. I'm waiting till they get everything done before I start flying over there. You get over there too early to a black barbecue, and next thing you know, you part of the production. You going to do charcoal runs, picking up ice. So you gotta chill and let that play out. You don't jump up and just start running out the door. As soon as somebody say party, you do that, they be, oh, I'm glad you here. Once you hear, I'm glad you here, you done messed up. You done messed up. Once you hear, I'm glad you're here, I'm glad you're here. That means they got some work for you to do. Now that's not why you came here. Jay-Z went over his verse, which was really the whole song, on DJ Khaled's God Did project. And why do Jay-Z seem to do these things on Khaled's and all his work? He don't seem to do that for himself. He seemed to do it mostly on Khaled work. I'd be like, why don't you do it on your projects? But that's another story. But let's listen to Jay.
This music is a fad, it's blah 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 blah. And then after they couldn't get rid of us, they demonized us and they start like driving tractors over our CDs and things like that. This is all history. So this for me feels like, the end where the villain survives, doesn't go to jail, but gets to pop more shit. So it's like it's that feeling. I don't know if we've ever felt, or ever been vocalized in this way, and it be all true. The thing that makes me most proud of every word I said in that thing is actual fact. That for me it's a challenging thing to do, like to rap that long, every single bar is just like actual fact. And as far as like hip hop, the idea of, rest in peace T-Lo. Like that's Tata's brother, Trent. Like these, and then like a lot of fallen soldiers, that's Biggie, that's Pop. Kicking snow for Frozen 10. That's people that go unnamed that you guys don't know about. Like it's so much in my life in there. And then it's like the way I connect overseas, Caddy. Caddy's story, I guess he could tell it on his own. Like just that, how powerful the music is, the reach of the music, and where we come. So yeah. You're 100% on point.
Word. Do you ever get to a point, and obviously, right, this has been your story, but what makes now the right time to say, like, there's things, and even Guru said it, and him knowing you, there's things on this record that maybe he thought you'd never said, or, that you hadn't said before, or things that you revealed, and some of it is like a dog whistle. What makes now the right time, and do you self-censor, or sometimes do you come up with something and you be like, you know what, that's too much, let me save that for later?
Yeah, because it's been 30 years.
Yeah. I don't think I don't know if I self-censor. I'm aware of the timing of things. I think that, again, some of these things are out of my control. It's just the way the world works and the universe works. Cali came at this specific time. There's sometimes I like a beat, or I like a song and the timing ain't right, or the timing is right and I don't like a song. It's so much that goes into like getting these things done these days. I have a lot of things on my plate, so sometimes it's just out of my control. It just was the right time, right place, right space in life. and it just happened. This is just magic. It's really out of our control.
Last question, and just because I mean this is Khaled's moment, right? There's the God Diz moment. Obviously, you are such a major part of that, but so many artists were a part of that. A lyric like when you start going into how many billionaires can come from Ho's crib. I count three: me, Ye, and Reed, Braun, technically, right? It makes me think. It makes me go back to when you did the Drake verse and said, "I made more millionaires than a lot of did." And that was flex. And maybe that was about 10 years ago at this point. Like, can you talk about the evolution of not just getting it for yourself, but being able to get it for other people around you and make other people, put other people in position, and really in the span of 10 years going from being able to say millions on a rap record to now saying billionaires?
Yeah, we're not gonna stop. It's the hip hop is young. We still growing, and we're not falling for that technology. Whatever this public puts out there now. That before was the American dream. Pull yourself out of bootstraps, and you can make yourself. You can make it in America. All these lies that America told us our whole life. And then when we start getting it, they try to lock us out of it. They start inventing words like capitalist and things like that. I mean. We've been called nigger and monkeys and shit. I don't care. Those words y'all come up with, y'all got to come up with stronger words. When I say y'all, I'm not talking about you. The words they come up with, they got to come up with stronger words. We're not going to stop. We're not going to be tricked out of our position. Y'all locked us out. Y'all created a system that, doesn't include us. We said, fine. We went our alternate route. We created this music. We did our thing. We hustled. We fucking killed ourselves to get to this space. And now it's like eat the rich and man, we're not stopping. So that evolution is from us. We came from selling 7 records and selling records out our trunk, and no radio play. I think Reasonable Doubt did 36,000 the first week or something like that. I mean, I may be adding a little to it. So. I come from Marcy Projects. My first house, 615 Lexington Avenue. My grandmother's house, 7 families lived. Like, she has 7 kids. My mother and, my parents and siblings lived in that house. My aunt Niecy lived in that house. Hootie lived in that house. Butchie lived in the basement. I mean, this is one house. I went back to that house. I did an interview with Oprah, and I couldn't believe how small this house was. That all of us lived in that house. So, again, that evolution that you speak of, it's just real, and it's happening in real time, and I'm talking about it. And, we're not going to stop, and we're not going to stop talking about it. We're not going to trick us out of it and make us feel ashamed to be successful in a place that, set up a system for us to be dead at 21. No, sir. No, it's not us.
Jay, we gave him his flowers earlier, but I just wanted to acknowledge that amazing piece that he did on your verse.
Yeah, Ari, that was an amazing piece. I appreciate that. Again, in the verse I say, my only goal is to make a feel seen. And when somebody break it down in that way, we all feel seen. And it wasn't me. I got calls from everybody like, man, we needed that right there, or that was amazing, or Ferg hit me up like, we needed that right there, like, so people to articulate and understand what we're going through, so that was an amazing job.
I'm honored to be listening to you. It's crazy, and I'll just say one thing that we mentioned earlier before you joined, Khaled and everybody. One person was asking about, well, do you write this in a day? And I was saying, I've been listening to you guys my whole life. Your work and the work of hip hop artists who've explained the real stories and history that wasn't always in the history books is why I did civil rights law, and then now I do journalism. And so you've been teaching people for so long, and as we explored there's people who don't listen, which is why you get that Mike Wallace moment. But when we, as a team, and I work with a team in my group at MSNBC, when we write something like that and we go through the archives or we look at what you're doing, we're drawing on years of listening to you. So it's like, it's an honor to be up here just listening to you tonight. But you laid it all out. You laid it out before, where the hammers rung, the news cameras never come, and the stories that are not only systematically ignored, they're lied on, and that ruins people's lives. And the last thing I'll say, and then I'll get back to y'all, the way you show through your life and other people's lives the arbitrary movement on either side of the law. The laws keep changing. The laws are enforced in racist ways. The way you show your life, you've been moving in and out of that way. I don't understand it all. I'm just learning. I'm listening. But the way you expose that, and I wondered for years whether people will study this verse and fully understand. The poetry is as impressive as the life. It's an autobiography of a life story of achievement against the odds. It's just extraordinary. Thank you for having me today.
Good man, appreciate that.
I'm gonna always have smoke for them. Callie, where we at, Cal? How you feeling, Cal? This the most quiet Cal been since we started this thing. I think he's speechless. What's going on? Well, we'll wait for Callie to get that.
Rob, I said, when the God is on, listen. Don't get let everything come clear and clarity. You listen. When the God is on, you listen, Rob. And that's what I was doing.
Yes, sir.
Man, I appreciate you, man. There's no words that, saying all I'm gonna do is, every time I see you, when I'm not around you, you're my idol, you're my brother, you're my friend, and I appreciate you, what you did for us on this record, and what you've been doing for us. And we all screaming Hov did, you know what I'm saying? Because Hov did for real. And it's just important people know that, man, because you fight for us all the time. And we love that, and we appreciate you. And just keep inspiring us, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, and he's next. Is there a favorite on this album or some? Because there's so much. But when you first heard it, obviously God did stood out to you. Was there something else on the album that just kind of blew you away or made you feel so connected?
Yeah, definitely. I felt like I don't know if Tyler told that story, but he played me the Drake No Secret. I was like, man, I gotta open it. That it just set the right tone and vibe. And then that big time joint, the pockets that Lil Baby was catching on that, like he called, like I don't even know how many pockets, but he just kept switching. Obviously I messed with that Dirk record. 21 Savage is amazing. That Kiss record is so hard. Khaled had a whole vibe. He may want to revisit that later and remix, but the Kiss record.
Sorry about that, but yeah, you're right. I gotta tell it, man. I had a whole vibe, and I felt like what we did today, put on the album we put out was so perfect, but it inspired other vibes too. You know what I'm saying?
Cal, was there any more to the Drake record, No Secret, just setting it up? Because I remember you played it, you didn't tell me what was playing. And the way it just led in was a perfect intro, but I wondered if there was more.
Yeah, so Drake was at my crib, and we was having dinner, and then I played him my album in my studio, and I played him God Did without no drums, with no raps, nothing on it. Just God did the chords and Friday, that's it. And I told him, like, this probably gonna be my intro. And he's like, yo, you should put that on your album trail. So when I announced God Did, I put the music in the album trail, and it was just the music, it was just the chords and the God Did Friday singing it. And when I seen everybody that loved it, and it was so infectious, just like they loved the title, I already said in my head before I even put it on the trail that I was gonna make it into a song. But I wanted to, be inspired and feel the feeling. He played me No Secret. And he's like, yo, I'm gonna finish this shit up. I was like, nah, I want it just like that. I want to fade this shit out. I want to fade it out. And if it's a longer version that comes later, let it come later. I just want that part and it would fade out. And then I started working on God Did, and then, you see what happened. God did. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it turned into something beautiful. So the way the album started is like been a dream of mine from the beginning of my career. Meaning, as in, there's only certain albums that start like and then the Ye and the Dre, and then you go into big time, and then after big time you go into dirt. There's only certain, for me as a fan of hip hop, there's only certain albums that start like that. You know what I'm saying? I felt like when I dropped that track list, it was like, oh no, this is God did. Without even hearing it, when they seen the track list, I knew that the fans would see that and say, oh no, this God did. And that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. I'll be remiss. I want to ask you about one record that I think is special as well. He's no longer here with us. He's a young man, talented young man who I had the pleasure of documenting and interviewing and working with, Juice WRLD, who has since left us and rest in power. But there's a maybe a divine or a spiritual story of how that record just came together and ended up on this album, right?
So I'm in the backyard of my crib. I'm by myself. I'm in the backyard, just chilling, and I get a text from Bibby. And Bibby said, I heard you work on your album. God did. I said, yeah, and he sent an MP3 immediately. So I didn't get a chance to reply yet. So I listened to it on my phone, and I started looking around like, am I bugging? Am I tripping right now? So I immediately ran to my laptop, had a little setup outside because in my last minute magic mode for the album. I hook up, I airdrop the song, it's on my laptop, playing my speakers, and Juice WRLD made a song talking about DJ Khaled, another one, and We the Best. Not a verse, a whole song. I'm looking around like, what the fuck is going on? I felt like Juice WRLD was in my studio, recorded that. Bibby could have sent me that on Khaled, my last album that came out last year. No, this is God did. He sent it when I made God did. Juice WRLD did. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I can't make this shit up if I wanted to. Like, it really was special. Like, and to hear it, the young king, Juice WRLD, said, he made a whole song about DJ Khaled, another one, We the Best. That's like, come on, bro. That's like, it's fucking unbelievable. Like, so, you know, shout out to Chicago, shout out to Bibby, shout out to Juice WRLD's family, shout out to Juice WRLD and Juice WRLD's fans. It was really special, man, and that's why I keep expressing to y'all, this is God did. Not just God did the album. No, this is God did.
Right. No, I absolutely, man. Rest in power to Juice WRLD.
Talk the whole, you see what's going on? Now you talking about Juice WRLD, like, now, like, what do you want me to do? Like, this shit don't happen, like.
Yo, I asked it for a friend, Cal, and then we're gonna open it up. But
be careful what you ask for your friends to do. They can set you up.
Listen,
they can set you up. Listen, they can set you up. You didn't hear Joel Santana? Loyalty is great, but stupidity is like, don't fall for the trap, because I got the answer.
Nah, check it.
I got the fucking answer.
I just want to.
I got the fucking answer.
I just want to know.
I want you to say it.
Look,
you started off talking about, I got a friend that want me to. That's that. I got a friend. Do you want to say it? Just say it. It's God did.
He ready for war.
Your mom said, Ron Martin, man, this DJ Khaled. You know, ain't one of these guys up here.
Listen.
Come on.
Listen. Listen. All I wanted to know was how does one go about playing Eddie Murphy Party all the time, man? Because that's such a classic record that she did. That's all I wanted. You was ready for the smoke. I just wanted to know Quavo take off.
So, there you have it. There you have it. Well, they call it the Jay-Z kiss ass pie, But let's look at it from everyone else's perspective. You know? What do y'all think about the song God Did? It is blasphemous, but it's Jay-Z. Jay-Z always looked at himself as a god. So this isn't far off from Jay. That's why he's Hove did. You see, he didn't correct Khaled when Khaled was like, the God is speaking. He's, yeah, I'm God. See, people have that God complex until they really meet him. He mentioned a whole lot of things that was dear to him on the song. You see, the thing about Jay is he's been rich longer than he's been poor. He's been famous longer than he's been poor. So he really don't remember that life. So when you hear LeBron talk about how, oh man, I came from this, I came from that, bruh, you was poor and didn't know it. You was a kid. By the time you was 15 years old, you were in line to make millions of dollars. Millions, 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 millions. Then, on top of that, because there's always an on top of it, on top of that, you go ahead and basically do what the rest of them do. They go along with this whole scenario of, I gotta get mine right now while I can get it, because it ain't gonna be promised tomorrow. So they live for the day and they wild out, never planning for the future. And that has been shown that those people burn out. They crash and burn. They don't make it. Those people crash and burn. Now, when you look at people like myself, as we go through all of these tropes, in other words, right? When we go through all of these tropes, you're looking at a situation where people who are rich trying to have people hammer over anything that they say. If you listen to Jay-Z, he sounds like someone who's very unintelligent and can't speak and has an 8th grade education. I'm serious. Jay-Z is a rapper, so he can remember lines. And he's very talented at teaching himself to remember lines. This is how he remembers his songs, because he practiced without using a pen. So he remembered the lines. So Jay would remember a line someone had told him or a quote he read, but then he has to elaborate on these things. And when you listen to Jay-Z talk, he sounds like someone who didn't graduate from high school. And he became a billionaire. Only people that pick up on this are people who are as successful or more successful than Jay-Z. Now, this is not a knock on him, but where is he preaching education? He doesn't. He promotes hustling. He promotes grinding and getting it. He promotes everything he did in the past. This is why I'm circling all the way around from when I started the point saying he's been rich longer than he's been poor. Meaning that he's been to France, Paris, all these rich people, all these corporate meetings and all of that. He doesn't really promote that to you. You know what he promotes? He promotes everything he done when he was in Marcy and outside of Marcy, Brooklyn. That's what he promotes to you. Moving weight off the steps. This is where his mindset is. So in the game where he's at now, he's still hustling. But now he's a worker for the other side. They let him in because they say, "Oh, he's not a threat to us." He would not make a stance to go against a power, a mega power. And where he respects the dollar and the power and the value of this is where we are. We're a power. We're money. He'll partner with them and cut his own brother's throat. That's Jay. But you have to know that going in, or you will be the one that plays the victim. No. Well, you got to understand that you got to look at it. Jay-Z was put in that position. Jay-Z was pulled in that position. A lot of you think Jay-Z is this mm, mm, mm. You think a lot of people weren't pulled in this situation? A lot of them were. Jay was pulled into that position. Jay-Z ain't released an album in how long? When I said Jay-Z went broke, y'all didn't even know what I was talking about. Jay-Z had went broke by Jay-Z standards. And y'all didn't even know. If I told y'all Jay-Z had went broke before, y'all would never believe that. Y'all would think I was crazy. If I told y'all Jay-Z was broke, and you'd be like, well, what do you mean by broke? No, he had Jay-Z, yeah, he got money. But when I mean broke, I meant broke by a standard that he's not accustomed to. How did I know it was not at the point he wanted it to be? This lets you know when it was. When he was here on the Breakfast Club, Jay-Z is sitting on the Breakfast Club. That told you right there the money wasn't right. That told you right there the bag ain't right. The bag wasn't right. This isn't hate. I'm just letting y'all know a lot of secrets y'all don't be knowing. He had to go on the Breakfast Club. When you have to do stuff, your bag ain't right. Jay had to go on the Breakfast Club. He didn't want to, but he had to. He had this AT&T live stream deal that he put in place. He signed a 360 deal with Live Nation. Live Nation is what gave him this money, but it was a 360 deal. Jay had just sold Rockaware over to them, and Rock Management, Rock Nation, and all of that hadn't really hit its plateau yet. This led to the Barclays, the Nets, and all this stuff. Jay was trying to get himself back. He lost his whole shirt on the Kingdom Come album, where he had to pay back $20 million to Def Jam to get out. Now, Jay-Z's name is worth more than the $20 million. So even though Jay was moving the way he was moving, he sold most of his interests for cash. He needed to be liquid. Right, Blueprint 3 is what brought him back. That's why he did so much That's a whole different Jay-Z. All that demonic stuff with the sunglasses, the shades. He was more like a rock star than Jay-Z. He had got rid of Just Blaze. Everything was gone. This was the new Jay. Jay had to reinvent himself to fit into new society. He got with Kanye, said, "Look, y'all got to bring me back. You was right. Just Blaze got to go." On to the next. Yes, that demonic video that came out on New Year's when the ball dropped. So when he was sitting here on the Breakfast Club, that lets you know right there the bag wasn't right. But it was gonna be right now. But he had to go on the Breakfast Club. They made him go on the Breakfast Club to do promo. Jay-Z had to do a promo. Do you hear what I just said? And he had to go on the Breakfast Club? Do you think Drake gonna sit on the Breakfast Club? When I see Drake sitting on the Breakfast Club, oh, it went left. Things have went real left for Drake to be sitting there. He do interviews, but he sit down with people like Dave Letterman. Now you sit down with A-listers. You don't go to the Breakfast Club when you Jay-Z. You don't go to the Breakfast Club. No, you don't do that. Do you see Drake sitting there? Do you see Beyonce on the Breakfast Club? Do you think Beyonce gonna ever be on the Breakfast Club? Better yet, you gonna see Adele on there? No, you don't go up there unless you have to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, if you look at it, you see, now you look like J. Cole. It took J. Cole whole look. Kanye went on Sway because what? He had to. Kanye was broker than broke when he was on Sway. Kanye stayed broke because of the things he did. The things he did always kept him broke. Well, he's rich now. He's super rich. But look at the transformation from this guy to this guy. That guy got the bag. This guy had to go on the Breakfast Club. He was losing it. It wasn't where it needed to be. This is the guy that got it. This is the guy who's pretending like he still got it. But he ain't got it. And it's in his face. I can see it, bro. The hair ain't right. Got on the old gold piece chain. It wasn't right. He looking like, man, you can see it on me too? Yeah, I can see it on you, bro. It ain't right. Now, bag is right. Connections right. Investments right. It's all right. It's all good now. I can even get a dreadlock wig. Now, well, see, here's the thing. When you're at Jay's level, it's hard. It's like damn near impossible to try to make everyone around you successful. It's damn near impossible. Because if they don't have the mindset that you have, they won't understand it. You can give them that information you got, and it makes sense to you, but it wouldn't make sense to somebody else. They be like, yo, just give me the money, Joe. They be, dog, I can't just give you this money. If I give you this money, first off, that's going to put you in a high tax bracket you can't afford. So not only do you lose the money, you're going to be paying the most of it in taxes. So it's a way you have to get it. So they don't understand these things when you try to explain it. All they think is you don't want to give them no money. And then it goes to, remember the time you fell down and you hurt your knee? I drove you to the hospital. You don't remember that? Be like, yeah, you did. And this is how you do me? If I know you drove me to the hospital with strings attached, gotta have somebody else do it. No, because once you do that to one family member, then you got to do it to all of them. You see? Oh, black folks don't call the ambulance. Hold on. It's a fly that flew in here. I don't know why they like my car so much. I'm trying to get you out of the window, fly. Shoot. Get your butt up out of here. I lowered the window so he can get out, and he trying to fight to go through the damn screen. I'm like, get the hell out. You go. I don't want you here. Look, he's still hanging around. Did he finally leave now? It's a spa. Back in like '83, he was a bookworm, going to school, beatboxing, right? His regular school days. He didn't have no aspirations of going into this. 5 years later, only 5 years later, in '88, he the biggest hustler in New York, according to his raps. He still spending from '88, but everybody evolves from that, right? Everybody evolved and their lyrics grow. The fly is still here, y'all. This is the dumbest fly in creation. Alright, now you finna die. Stupidest fly in the world. This has got to be the world's dumbest fly. I ain't trying to kill him. He gonna force me to. I'm trying to knock him out of the car so he can go live his fly life. So he can get fried. He can go find him a chick on Labor Day, be like, baby, it's Labor Day, I'm fly. Last night, man, was so crazy. You wouldn't believe the night if I told it to you. I blew so much money last night, I need my head examined. I was out of control. But my thing is, Jay is always rapping about hustling in the streets. So he's always attached to the streets. Everything he doing is basically attached to the streets. He don't rap about the corporate offices, the Doug Morrises, because he know that's gonna go over everyone's head. Yeah, I spent about over $2K last night. It was crazy. I had a wilding out day. It was nuts. I had a blast, but now that the next morning, I'm like, damn. I don't like that. I don't like spending money like that. if I spend money like that, it's like the car's in the shop. I gotta get the car repaired, stuff like that. You know, shoot. But I'm like, oh man, it was crazy, crazy night. Like if you're on the Patreon and you heard the Casino for Life sex tape, you've seen it. It's the same type of night, except for crazier. Way more crazy. And the fly's back. I'm gonna cause this fly some serious brain damage. Wait till we get to a red light. Yeah, you bastard. Hell about this car. I'm ready to hit 3 people now and jump out just to get your ass out this car. This fly won't die. Hold on, I'm finna pull over and I'm finna address you, fly. You getting the hell up out of here. I done scared every car on the road. They think I'm beating somebody up in the car. Got you. You're dead. Dead as disco. Tried to let you live. Well, you wouldn't listen. Now look at you. Now look at you, huh? Huh? Think I'm a worm like you? Huh? Make you feel real good, huh? Hit a car with a wife and kids? I don't need that in my life. Tell you, get out of the car, but you won't listen. I ain't trying to kill him. Killed himself. He killed himself, man. there's gonna be a little Cino running around after last night. Man, that was a crazy night. Jesus. Man, I can't be that reckless again. That was reckless. Just thinking about last night, just. Nothing was right about last night. That was crazy. I must admit, that was a crazy, crazy weekend. This whole last week has been just insane. I don't know, man. That was crazy. That was real crazy last night. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here and let y'all enjoy y'all holiday in 2 more minutes. We got 2 more minutes to rock. So, let's rock. I'm an ex-drug lord in Chicago. Since when? I remember this one stupid cop believed that. I'm like, we already know who you are. Me? Yeah, we know who you are. We got your buddy locked up now. I'm like, you do? Yeah, we know where house you're going. I'm like, you do? I did. It's in one of my hood stories. They finally finna tear all that down, man. It's about time. I think I probably went to that movie theater once when it was there. Tear all of it down. That's the old BG area. Tear that down. Rebuild. I'm like, why are you braking at a green light? Let me get the hell away from these people. Unless they got a fly in the car, get the hell away from them. Great old couple. Pops is like, you're not gonna tell me I can't still drive. Pops on the road, baby. Yep, so any questions you want to ask, better get it off now. Before Cino is gone. That's all I got to say. If you miss Hov talking, you can catch that. Go all the way back to the beginning of the video, and you can hear Hov breaking down his verse and what it means and all this stuff. You know what I mean? So thank you for your time, and I'm out the door.